This video will discuss the only female emperor in Chinese history, Wu Zetian. An amazing story of rise to power. Wu Zetian rose from being a mere imperial concubine to ruling emperor over all of China. She was wise, learned, and skillful in navigating the intricacies of court politics. Although she first entered the court as the emperor's concubine, she gradually grew in influence because of her intelligence and charm. So the early life of Wu Zetian is a wonderful example of how her intelligence and charm at court led her to the center of power. Wu Zetian laid the foundation for becoming the first female emperor in Chinese history. Through her position as Empress, she used her position as Empress to expand her political influence and consolidate her power. She used her influence as Empress to eliminate political rivals and put her own trusted men in key positions. Thus, her promotion and consolidation of power as Empress shows how she paved the way for her rise to become the supreme power in China. Wu Zetian's accession to the throne as emperor is historically significant because it marked the birth of the first female emperor in Chinese history. She became the only woman to rule China with immense power. She was further promoted from Empress to officially ascend the throne as emperor of all China. This was a landmark event in the traditions and culture of the time. Thus, Wu Zetian's accession as emperor is an example of how much power a woman can hold, and it is still significant today. Politics and reform. Wu Zetian radically changed politics and breathed new life into Chinese history. She introduced a competency-based bureaucracy and created many new laws to reduce corruption. In particular, she strengthened the system of selecting bureaucrats using examinations, thus paving the way for more talented people to participate in politics. Thus, Wu Zetian's political reforms contributed significantly to changing China's political system to one that was fairer and more efficient. Wu Zetian greatly improved the status of women and brought about unprecedented changes in Chinese society. By achieving high status as a woman herself, she showed many possibilities for other women. Under her reign, women had greater access to education and began to participate in politics. This was very revolutionary for the time. Therefore, it can be said that the reign of Wu Zetian enhanced the status of women and had a positive impact on society as a whole. Wu Zetian's reign also had a profound impact on Chinese culture, contributing to the development of art and literature. She protected artists and scholars and encouraged cultural activities. For example, many poets and painters emerged under her reign, and their works of art are still highly regarded today. Thus, the reign of Wu Zetian played an important role in establishing a golden age of Chinese culture and art. Love and intrigue. Wu Zetian's romantic relationships were closely tied to her political ambitions. She used love as a political tool to strengthen her position and power. For example, she consolidated her position by cleverly eliminating other concubines in order to gain the emperor's favor. Therefore, it can be said that Wu Zetian's romantic relationships played an important role in establishing her political power. Intrigue and power struggles within the court were essential in paving the way for Wu Zetian's rise to supreme power. She used her wits and guile to eliminate her political opponents and consolidate her position by politically ousting her competitors at court and eliminating those who posed a threat to her. She consolidated her power. It can thus be said that intrigue and power struggles within the court were an important means of establishing Wu Zetian rule. Wu Zetian's love life has been passed down to posterity as part of her legend. Her love affairs were more than just romances, they became symbols of her power and status. Her romantic relationships are wonderful evidence of how her charm and intelligence supported her and helped shape her legend. As such, Wu Zetian's love life is an important element in shaping her powerful image. Foreign relations and military. Wu Zetian's foreign policy was crucial to China's growing relations with neighboring countries. She worked to maintain peace and expand China's influence through diplomacy. For example, she strengthened alliances with neighboring countries and sent diplomatic missions to promote cultural exchanges. In this way, Wu Zetian's foreign policy contributed to enhancing China's international standing and building peaceful relations. Military achievements during Wu Zetian's reign contributed greatly to China's stability and territorial expansion. She strengthened military power and used effective strategies to subdue opposing forces. During her reign, successful military expeditions further expanded China's territory. Thus, Wu Zetian's military achievements greatly extended China's power and contributed to the country's security and expansion. Relations with neighboring countries during Wu Zetian's reign were highly complex and strategic. She skillfully maneuvered relations with neighboring countries to protect China's interests to the best of her ability. Sometimes she used diplomacy, sometimes military power, to establish Chinese influence while maintaining a balance with her neighbors. As a result, China played a major role in relations with neighboring countries during the reign of Wu Zetian, contributing to the stability of the region. Evaluation in history. Historians have evaluated Wu Zetian both as a dictator and as an effective ruler. Both her harsh methods and effective political reforms have influenced their assessments. For example, she cracked down hard on her opponents, but at the same time worked to improve Chinese laws and administration. Thus, historians' assessments of Wu Zetian are complex and are viewed differently according to her political achievements and methods. In modern times, Wu Zetian is seen as the epitome of a strong and intelligent leader. The leadership and independent spirit she demonstrated is often seen as a role model for contemporary female leaders. In particular, she demonstrated that women could attain high political positions and contributed greatly to the advancement of women. Therefore, in modern times, Wu Zetian is celebrated as a prime example of strong female leadership. Wu Zetian's legacy has had a very important and long-lasting impact on Chinese history. Her reign had a profound impact on Chinese politics, society, and culture, and influenced much of subsequent history. For example, her reforms to laws and the elevation of women's status influenced women's participation in society in later Chinese generations. Thus, the legacy of Wu Zetian played an important role in Chinese history, and her influence is felt to this day. Humorist Wu Zetian. One famous episode is that she held a banquet at which she dressed the male officials of the court in women's clothing. At this banquet, in a complete reversal of normal court rituals and formalities, the male officials were forced to dress in traditional female attire and perform feminine gestures. It is believed that this event was intended to demonstrate Wu Zetian's own power and at the same time to soften the rigid atmosphere within the court. In this way, she brought a new twist to the customs and norms of the court, while at the same time solidifying her own position. In another anecdote, she is known to have surprised those around her by reciting her own poetry at a court meeting. Unusually for a woman of her time, she had a deep knowledge of learning and poetry. It is said that she often recited her poems and displayed her talents at court. This shows that she was not only a political leader, but also had a profound cultural influence. This video explained about Wu Zetian. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like this video. History Spectrum.